So here we are with an exclusive chance to chat with the Jay Shetty, following his keynote session at Team 22. Jay, your session offered some great insights for how to be more courageous, compassionate, determined in today's fast-paced, stressed out and disconnected world, which I think was fascinating, the whole theme around connectedness. So in this segment, we'd love to hear some of what you weren't able to share. This is for our remote audience only. We want the scoop, we want the details. So my first question for you, if you think about the pandemic and your theme of connectedness, what are some of the mistakes we're making right now that are stopping us being connected?
That's such a great question. I think one of the biggest mistakes we're making is that we're no longer having the conversations that we used to have in the corridor, the water cooler, just by the cafeteria at lunchtime, whatever it was, and we'd have that casual conversation. What ends up now is we open up our screens, we're on a call, we say, hey, how's it going? Yeah, same old, okay, bye. All right, next one, and we keep doing that.
So routine.
Exactly, and we're just back to back. So my encouraging point is trying to ask a question about someone's physical space. Maybe there's a picture of their friend in the background. Maybe there's a picture of a place in the background. Maybe you can ask them an interesting question. I'll give you an example. I was speaking to a client recently, and he had a paintbrush hung on his wall. And I was just like, I've never seen that before. I was like, look, I don't want to be creepy, I want to be curious. Why have you got a paintbrush in your wall? And he started laughing, and he said, well, let me tell you a story. He said, my first ever job was that I used to paint fences.
Wow.
And then he goes, I started painting walls, and then he painted homes. Now he's an executive at a large company. But he was like, that was my first job. And I thought, what a great story. So now I ask people what their first job was, and it gets into a great conversation. So I think trying to ask questions that are more curious, not creepy, allow you to get connected to people in a deeper way, because now we do have a vision inside their homes or inside their lives.
So what you say, we still need that context. We desperately need that context to build the psychological safety, the connectedness.
Exactly.
And if we just do the transactions of work, we miss that context.
Totally, and we lose the ability to gain trust. And we know that trust is what makes companies go round. And if you don't ask that question and someone doesn't have empathy and connection and trust, now when you're asking for a favor, now when you need something at 10 p.m. at night, there isn't a connectedness. We spoke for 2 seconds and realized we support the same football team, and all of a sudden we feel connected to each other.
Which is funny, because again, when you're in that transactional sense of the work environment, you're like, let's get straight onto the work stuff.
Totally, and we could have ignored that.
Whereas when you're in the office, or not even in the office, when you feel more connected, you're more... We did an exercise a few years ago, actually, in the middle of the pandemic, where we're like, show us the chaos behind the camera. Because everyone had this really polished view behind them. And I was like, I don't think that's the reality. And actually one of my colleagues turned around, and it was genuine chaos. And she's like, when I'm talking to you, if I get stressed, it's because that's what I can see.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
So if we flip that, right, so we've made some mistakes, I get that. If we're looking to give these audience members who are all around the world right now a really pragmatic, like the 1 or 2 things they can do to build that connectedness. What can we do right now to get more connected?
So it all starts with you, right? Like connecting with anyone else is about your own energy. So the first thing I'd say is start scheduling 5-minute gaps between every single one of your meetings. So if you finish a meeting at 10:55, start the next one at 11. So start scheduling 25-minute meetings and 55, not 30 and 60.
And technology allows you to do that now.
Exactly.
So I use Google Calendar, so I'm the default to 25 or 50-minute meetings.
Exactly, and the best thing about this is now in that 5-minute gap, stand up, stretch, hydrate, get some fresh air if you can, and look out into the distance. We spend so much time looking at things right up in our face, our phones, our screens, that our brains are just constantly feeling overstimulated.
Well, I don't think we don't give ourselves time to wonder.
No, not at all, not at all. And so giving you time to just look out into the distance, look into an open space, giving your eyes a bit of a rest, and use those 5 minutes to not go on your phone and scroll, but stand up, stretch, and hydrate, recharge outdoors and recharge.
Awesome. And give us one other tip. Like, you've got the audience at home, they're struggling, they're drained, they're getting up out of their bedroom, they're making the bed so that they can actually then start work. Like, what's the thing that we can do, not only, again, for ourselves, but maybe for our teammates to build more connection?
I'd say appreciate people every day. Take a moment to send one message to someone on your team, just one text message, one email, a voice note if you're really lazy, whatever it is. Send them a message and just tell them what impact they've had on you in the last month. And that's going to make, and if everyone did that, everyone's going to get a message. Or
and it's also the recognition of the behavior. Like, it's like, I just thought that thing was a thing I did. It's like, no, it was really valuable. We have an internal kudos system. Anyone can say thank you with a kudos to anyone else.
I love that.
And when we do that, it's like, I didn't realize. And you're like, no, I value that thing you do. Please do more of it.
Massive. We repeat what we reward.
It is absolutely a pleasure. We could chat for another 50 minutes, I imagine. We only had 5. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks everyone back at home.
And thanks for everyone joining us at home. Thank you.
Thank you.